Likewise, think about who your brand is for. Who is your buyer persona? Get specific. If your niche is travel, then think about the kind of travel you're focused on. Is your audience interested in backpacking and experiencing countries in an authentic manner? Are they interested in beautiful scenery? Or are you selling luxurious experiences and getaways? These three focuses create entirely different brands aimed at different people. So once you've identified these factors, the logo can be born out of that. Your job is to express that through your logo and your company name, so that someone who has no prior experience of your business can look at it and know right away whether you might have something to offer them. Likewise, make sure that all the images you post and all the text you write is in service of that same mission statement and focus, such that all your content and marketing material is pushing the same values and speaking to the same core audience. This is how you will go about creating a strong brand for your Instagram account, and ultimately, your entire digital marketing strategy. 3 things you should never do when using Instagram marketing. Instagram marketing appears relatively straightforward on the face of it, being predominantly a matter of posting images and adding relevant hashtags to each one. But while this is true, it's also the case that there are some nuances that can get in the way of those who aren't overly familiar with the platform, and this is how mistakes happen. So keep listening, and we'll go over 3 big mistakes that new Instagram marketers sometimes make. 1. Not having anything to say. This is the first and biggest mistake you can make as an Instagram marketer, not having anything to say. And by that we mean not having a clear mission statement or clear values. It's up to you what niche or industry you want to work in. It's up to you what type of photos you want to share. But what's essential is that you offer something that is unique to you. The worst Instagram accounts are the ones that are totally generic. Fitness brands that have a random selection of photos of people working out, or travel accounts that post pictures of people hiking through the mountains one moment and people in clubs the next. You need to hone in on what makes your account unique amongst the others in your niche. How are you going to stand out? What are you going to do differently? Decide who you want to be before you start out, and then make that clear in everything you post. 2. Using too many filters. Filters look great, right? Take a good-looking photo and add the right filter, and you can turn it into something really special. And if that's true, then what could be better than adding lots of filters? Filters on every single image, and plenty of edits to change the contrast, the saturation, the vignette. Unfortunately, the result is often that the images just look cheap, and that you lose some of the information and quality from the image you originally took. Moreover, it can end up looking modeled and inconsistent. Looking at your page as a whole, it might look completely incongruous. 3. Being inconsistent. And that's the last mistake. Thinking of each picture, but not thinking about your account as a whole. Consistency means posting regularly. And there's nothing worse than an Instagram account that hasn't had an update in weeks. But it also means being consistent in what you post. That means posting only within your niche, and ensuring that you have a consistent style and tone across all your images, all in service of identifying your specific audience, and then communicate to them directly with content they engage with. 3 ways to produce more Instagram content more quickly. Instagram is a fantastic option for marketers in a hurry. It doesn't take very long to post a photo or an image, but potentially that single post can do extremely big numbers for you. But while this is true, it's also true that a lot of people find themselves running out of time to take photos. Unfortunately, photography does require a little bit of prep, as you need to find a good spot, set up the subject, and make sure your camera is charged, etc. If you have been struggling to remain consistent with your Instagram marketing, then read on and discover how you can solve the problem. Batch. If you're taking 1 photo, then why not take 10? In other words, take batches of photos and you'll spend less time in total because all the setup will be done. If you're in the fitness niche, for instance, and you're taking photos of yourself training, take a bunch of extra for future content. Likewise, if you're taking photos of views while traveling, make sure to get far more than you need to use right away. Opportunity. On a similar note, you should also make sure that you seize every opportunity possible to get useful images. In particular, this might mean taking photos of things that are likely to lend themselves to future posts and topics. Did you need to withdraw a whole load of cash to pay the plumber? Then great. Use that opportunity to take some photos of the cash on the table, as this is something that can work in a whole lot of contexts. And while you're at that scenic location, this would be a good opportunity to get photos of not only the view, but of you doing yoga in front of the view, of your product in front of the view, of you climbing that mountain and looking successful. Think of every angle and version of the shot that you might need in the future. Stock. Not every photo you post needs to come from you originally. Sign up to a stock photography site, and that way, you can gain access to a limited reserve of images that you can use to grow your account. Edit these images and add text, and you can get even more use from them. Another option is to repost old images. Throwback Thursday is one of the most useful trends on the platform. 5 tips for better hashtags. There are many factors that will play a role in the success of your Instagram effort, but few make such an instant and profound impact as the hashtags you use. By now you know what a hashtag is. It is a keyword or phrase prefixed by the hash symbol and used at the end of posts. Hashtags first rose to prominence on Twitter, but have since become a staple of nearly every form of social media. The idea behind a hashtag is to make content searchable. By using the right hashtags, people can look for content like yours, and Instagram can recommend your post to the right people on the Discover page. Without hashtags, your content will be impossible to find. With them, it can potentially reach millions. But how can you use hashtags effectively? Here are 5 simple tips that will make a massive difference. 1. Use lots. Tip number 1 is to use lots of hashtags. You're able to use up to 30 on any given post, and you should aim to use this many or nearly this many every time. By doing this, you'll be able to maximize your opportunities to reach new users. 2. Find the sweet spot. Don't make the mistake of using the most popular hashtag you possibly can. This will result in a post that quickly gets drowned among hundreds of others. Instead, pick one with around 30 to 300,000 posts for the maximum impact. 3. Use a variety. That said, there is some merit to using tags that are much more or far less popular, and there is no drawback to throwing a couple of these in with each post too. 4. Geotag. This isn't a hashtag, but by turning geotagging on, people will be able to search your photos by location. That can bring in a lot more viewers from people who are in the same place as you, especially if you're at a big event. You can likewise use hashtags that include place names. 5. Newsjack. Newsjacking is a strategy that involves using hashtags that are currently in the news or that are at least trending. Use Google Trends to discover these. Of course, these will be getting a higher volume of searches, and that means you can hopefully make a big impact very quickly as a result. Do these 5 things, and you'll find your pictures get seen by more people and more of the right people. 5 tips to grow your Instagram audience faster. Has your Instagram account hit a plateau? Have you stopped seeing new subscribers appear on your page? Perhaps your numbers are even going down. Or maybe you never had any luck in the first place. Don't feel bad. This is extremely common and something that countless creators and marketers have to struggle with. And the good news is that you can grow your account with just a few simple changes. In this report, we'll explore what those are. 1. Post regularly. The optimum amount of posts to make in a day is 1 to 3. This has been demonstrated across many accounts, as it ensures that enough people actually get to see and engage with your content. 2. Be consistent. Posting regularly like this is one way that you can be consistent. Another is to post content that is always on brand, and that matches the tone of your previous images. In fact, many businesses recommend using the same filter on every single image. This is important, as it allows you to create a consistent theme on your page, and it ensures that the overall impact of your account is greater. 3. Use hashtags. You get 30 opportunities to use hashtags for each photo, so use them all. If you had 30 opportunities to play the lottery for free, would you enter just once and leave it at that? A good hashtag is one that's popular but not saturated. Aim for those that have around 30 to 300,000 posts. But with that said, there's value to trying to get a range of different hashtags in terms of popularity too. Get a few huge ones and a few smaller ones in there for good measure. 4. Use video, live, and stories. Instagram isn't just about posting photos. Video actually has a greater engagement than photography on the platform, and it can also help you to convey a more complex message more efficiently. Likewise, don't ignore Instagram Live or Stories. Stories let you engage with your audience in a different way, while stories are far more two-way and ideal for building trust, loyalty, and authority. 5. Be social. Remember, Instagram is a social media account. That means it's not just about posting things and moving on. You should actually be interacting with your audience and engaging with them. So respond to comments and messages, leave comments on other photos, and follow people that are in your niche. How to create a consistent Instagram account to grow your audience massively. What's the key to a highly successful Instagram account? Hint: it's not owning the best camera in the world, nor is it being a big celebrity. Although neither of those things will hurt, of course. Rather, the key to a hugely successful Instagram is consistency. That means posting every single day, and ideally up to 3 times a day. This has been shown by market research across thousands of channels to be the most effective amount to post. So you better get a plan going of how you're going to offer that much consistent content. But it's not just posting consistently in terms of timing that matters. It's also posting consistently in terms of subject matter, style, and tone. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a creator is to not settle on a single niche, or to include too many photos of your dog or kids. Occasionally, showing people a behind the scenes so they can know the creator behind the brand is no bad thing. But that is what Instagram stories are for. Do this consistently on your main feed, and you'll find your audience quickly becomes bored and disinterested. Likewise, you need to think about consistency in terms of the look and feel of your content. Did you know that most of the biggest business accounts will only use a single filter on their photos? Take a look at the Instagram accounts of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and you'll find that many of his photos during a certain period in the gym use the same filters. What this does is make the Instagram page itself look much more appealing at a glance, so that you will be more inclined to want to follow it. Most people won't see a single photo and decide to follow an account. They will follow that photo to its feed, and this is what will then help them decide that they want to become a follower. Not only does having a consistent look that makes the page look coherent, look more professional and impressive, it also gives the account a more singular style and vision, in which tells the viewer whether this is a page that they would be interested in following. If every photo is different, how can they know if they're going to like the next one?